Look, yesterday I spoke here in the Senate about the brilliant organisation CareBright, and I mentioned that I had been in Bruff in County Limerick and that I had visited one of their centres for dementia adults, and how absolutely extraordinary the centre was insofar as it had tried to create a family atmosphere where people could come and live independently but live in a community within the village and within their own village, in a village, if you know what I mean. They had their own bedrooms, they had places to eat, they had artistry, they had food, they were able to cook, and they had lives. They could live their lives even though they were they were suffering from dementia, and it was had been a part of their lives and their families' life. I say it now this morning because if Cuisle outside the door looking for funds and being closed down, and at the same time CareBright are at the end of their tether trying to keep themselves open because they have to register as a nursing home because they do not have the facilities. There's no actual model. We have ideas, but we don't back up the models financially. And that they have deficits per week in relation to the money necessary to keep a place like the CareBright Centre in Bruff open. And I just raise it because we're running around calling people fascists and racists and using language like that, which if we continue to use it, will end up it'll become absolutely meaningless. But the reason I say that is we need to seriously look internally here about how we are treating people as they age, get older and become feeble and frail and need help. And that we shouldn't be begging for money to keep these facilities open, be they facilities for the disabled adults or for people with dementia or Alzheimer's, and begging them the goodness of people outside the system to actually pay for them, that they have to be able to pay for themselves. And I just don't want to hear any of this name-calling between this and across the houses, the lower house and the upper house. We should be looking internally. Look in your own kitchen before we start shouting and roaring and bawling about what others do from a migration or an immigration point of view. So and I have to stand up because I said yesterday, my own pathology is that I am becoming an elder, of this island. And I want that to be a good experience for everybody, including the nursing homes and everybody when I visit them, that I meet in them. And this is extremely important. And we keep pounding it and talking about it. I'm not saying the government are doing nothing. They're trying very hard. But it is extremely important that people have the money and are not eking out or trying to make up the shortfall every week. And in Bruff, the shortfall is nearly €300 per person per week that they're looking for. Now, they shouldn't be in that position when they're doing such great, humane and creative work and making people's lives worth living as they face a trauma such as losing a sense of their own feet on the ground. Now, we need to wake up here. And if I hear the word fascist, which I heard in here from a Labour senator, and I hear the word racist again, I'll run for cover. We are neither of those. We are not those, and we're banding around this language when we should be looking at the language of profit, and maybe looking at the banks who are back in profit now and hoping that we're not going to fine them anymore. Back in profit, our USC, and people like this striving and begging for money and making up money with fates and bonds and things around the country to try and make up the money that they're losing. Now, we need to get our priorities right because it is becoming tiresome. And that's what the Senate should be doing. Yeah. And maybe on Thursday, if we've nothing to do in the Senate, we might all go and visit Cuisle. And if we can't find our way there, then we can visit Bruff and see what... And I know some of the senators around here live on the ground here and they know what I'm talking about. Well, maybe on a Thursday, that's what we should do when we don't have legislation in here and see the brilliant things that are being done and the gaps in under the door that need to be filled. And stop talking through our heads in here about policies. But geez, we're coming down with policies, but I certainly don't see the practical application of them. I'm sick listening to policy.